Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel where today we're going to be taking a look back at the Packers Week 13 victory on Thanksgiving night over the Miami Dolphins. I hope each and every one of you that are here in the United States had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. I know I sure did. Spent some time with my in-laws and I got to see the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau in the cold take it to town on the warm weather Miami Dolphins. And there's a lot to get into, a lot of great performances to get into here today. But first, as we always do, we'll go down the scoring breakdown, then we'll do the box score, and then we'll get into my thoughts and opinions on the game. So let's go ahead and look at the scoring breakdown here. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Really means a lot to me, especially as we get closer to the end of the year. I want to hit my goal of hitting 150 subs. We are currently 26 away. So, be a lot if you guys would subscribe. So, in the first quarter, it was all Packers on a Jaden Reed 3-yard pass from Jordan Love. Brandon McManus made the extra point to make it 7-0. Josh Jacobs had a 1-yard rush at the end of the quarter for 14-0 Green Bay. Jason Sanders for the Dolphins kicked a 33-yard field goal to make it 14-3. Jaden Reed had a 12-yard pass from Jordan Love, 21-3 Green Bay. McManus hit a 46-yard field goal for a 24-3 Green Bay lead. McManus hit a 24-yard field goal for a 27-3 Green Bay lead. Then the Dolphins got a touchdown here on a Devon Achane 14-yard pass from Tua, who also then passed to Jalen Waddle for the 2-point conversion, 27-11 Green Bay. McManus then hit a 33-yard field goal, 30-11. And then Tyreek Hill caught a ricochet ball for a touchdown there. Failed the 2-point conversion for the final score of 30-17. So take a look here at team stats first. We're going to box scored. Dolphins actually had more first downs than us, 21-19. Ran more total plays, but had less yards, 388 yards for the Packers, 375 for the Dolphins. They had 336 total yards passing. Packers had 274. We sacked them 5 times, which we'll get into later, while allowing no sacks. Allowed only 39 yards rushing to the Dolphins. Packers had 114. Penalties, Miami 10 for 75. Green Bay 7 for 44. 1 turnover by the Dolphins. And time of possession was 33 minutes for Miami, 26-56 for the Packers. So take a look at the box score here. Jordan Love had probably his most impressive game of the season, going 21 for 28, 274 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. As I said, did not get sacked once. Had a QBR of 84.4 and a passer rating 129.2, giving him 3 straight games with a passer rating over 100. He looks healthy. He looks a lot better than he did early in the year, so hopefully he keeps it going down the stretch. Rushing was a little bit hard to do for Josh Jacobs. Had 19 carries for 43 yards, but did get a touchdown. But our other runners had some good runs as well. Chris Brooks, 3 for 28. Jaden Reed, 1 for 23 on a jet sweep. And Emmanuel Wilson, 2 for 20. In the receiving game, Tucker Kraft led receivers with 6 receptions and 78 receiving yards. Josh Jacobs, 4 for 74, including a beautiful 49-yard catch and run. We absolutely juked the heck out of a Dolphins defender. Watson, 2 for 67. Wicks, 4 for 30. Reed, 3 for 24, and the 2 touchdowns. Robert Rochelle recovered a muff punt on special teams, which we'll get into in a moment, how good special teams were for us today. Defense, Isaiah McDuffie and Quay Walker both had amazing games. Both had over double-digit tackle totals. 7 solo for McDuffie, 6 solo for Walker. Walker had a sack. McDuffie had a TFL and 2 TFLs for Quay Walker and a pass deflection for McDuffie as well. McKinney, 9 tackles. Williams, 7 tackles. Nixon had a pass deflection on the goal line that prevented a touchdown. And then Barre had a sack. Lucas Van Ness had a sack and 2 tackles for loss. Had himself a great game as well. Brenton Cox had a sack. Kenny Clark got his first sack of the year. Rashawn Gary was causing all sort of problems in the backfield as well, even though it won't show up on the stat sheet was the word I was looking for. So Packers defense played really good. The Dolphins only really got going in that second half when we were just basically playing pre-event to kind of run the clock out. So yeah, great job by the Packers. Nixon, 2 returns for 73 yards, average 36.5. McManus, a perfect 3 on field goals and a perfect 3 for 3 on extra points as well. And Dan Whelan, 4 punts, 172 yards, a touchback, 3 inside of 20, including a knuckler that led to a muff punt and fumble recovery for the Packers. So overall, great performance here. For the Dolphins, Tua, 37 for 46, 365 yards. Most of that was kind of in garbage time when the Packers clearly had the game in hand. 2 touchdowns for him as well. Rushing, Raheem Mostert 5 for 19. H.N. 7 for 14 for only, and 2 for 6 for only 39 yards rushing for the Dolphins. Receiving, a lot of Jonnu Smith in this game. He was basically the one the Packers always let open because he's only getting like 8-9 yards a catch. 10 for 113. Tyreek Hill 6 for 83 and a touchdown that was off a ricochet. 8 for 56 and a touchdown for H.N. Waddle 4 for 53. And the Packers basically made it their goal to take away Hill and Waddle from doing big explosive plays. And other than a 30-yard catch and run by Hill, they did that. Granted, that let them get the middle of the field open for smaller routes for Smith and H.N. to get into. But their goals were to stop the run and to stop the big explosive plays, and they were able to do that. Had a fumble by Malik Washington on punt return that was lost as well. So, yeah, some guys I want to talk about here. Jordan Love easily had his best game of the year. He looked healthy, looked really, really good, made no mistakes, played solid football, did not get sacked once. Got a shout out Tucker Kraft, who was excellent for the Packers in the cold weather, was able to just bully his way to quite a few first downs for the Packers here. Josh Jacobs, not so great in the run game, but excellent receiving back today. Was wonderful in that field. And got a shout out Dontavian Wicks. Even though he had a drop that was a pretty big one, he was blocking his butt off in the run game. Really setting the tone there on the edge. And Jaden Reed, 2 touchdown catches. Gotta love that out of him as well. Really got to shout out the offensive line for keeping Jordan Love clean the entire game. Zach Tom, Sean Ryan, Josh Myers, Elton Jenkins, and Rasheed Walker. Excellent job in pass protection. Could be a little bit better in run blocking, but hey, can't be too picky here. Defense. McDuffie and Walker had great games out of the middle linebacker position for the Packers, especially Quay Walker. These past few weeks, he seems like he is finally coming into his own in this Jeff Hafley defense, using him a lot as a blitzer. He had a sack here today. Enigbari and Lucas Van Ness were incredible. Van Ness was able to really get a sack, able to show why he was picked in the first round. Kenny Clark got his first sack of the year finally for him. He'd been so close a couple of weeks, but finally able to get his first sack of the year. Overall, good job by the defense. So there is that. And then gosh, shout out the special teams. McManus has been a great in-season pickup. Perfect here today. Only missed 1 kick so far with the Packers. And Dan Whelan continues to be one of the best punters in the league, having 3 inside the 20, including basically making the guy muff a punt there on one of his kicks. So great job by the Packers, who currently sit at 9-3, 5-2 at home. Still third in the division somehow because the Vikings continue to pull bullcrap out of their butt. So for the Packers, upcoming weeks, they're at the Lions on Thursday night, so only got 1 week compared to the normal 10 after Thanksgiving. And then they're at Seattle on Sunday Night Football, which should be an interesting game. Then we're home against New Orleans, at Minnesota, who has been struggling a lot recently, and then home against the Bears. So the Packers are looking very, very good heading into the final months of the season, playing strong, physical football, and Jordan Love is starting to limit the mistakes, which is what the big key was for the Packers heading into this final stretch. And this team looks very, very competitive and could be a threat to make the Super Bowl. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I'll see you again on the next one. Peace.